here. So, so what we're going to talk about is your finals. Yes, your final is this Friday at noon. So again, your final is this Friday at noon, and you got 24 hours, which is till Saturday at noon to pass your final to me. Same thing, print it out, scan it, and then email it to me. Same thing. Questions, same question, around the same questions as a midterm. So around 14, 15, 16 questions. I'm thinking about that for your finals. I will set up tomorrow. So it's going to be 14, 15, 16 questions for your final. So you are not a lot. Very similar to the midterm that you have, but finals, it consists of chapter 5, chapter 4, and chapter 9.1. Okay. So so let me type it up here so you guys got here. So final exam is Friday, the 14th at 12 o'clock noon. And the due date is Saturday. Saturday the 15th by noon. It will cover 4.1, 4.2, 5.1 till 5.5, and 9.1. 9.1 we only do very little. 9.1 we're doing solving system of non-linear equation. So we do a little bit of 9.1, and that is so that will be your final, which is on this Friday. Talking about online homework, so you got 3 sections of online homework due tonight, which will be 5.2, 5.3 till 5.4. Yep, 5.2 to 5.4. And then you also have 2 online homework due on Thursday, this Thursday, which will be 5.5 and 9.1. Okay, 9.1, I think you have like 6 or 7, it's less than 10 questions in there. So 9.1 is very fast, so you should do it really quickly. So I would recommend you guys to do this. So you got actually 3 due today and 2 due on Thursday. And the reason why I want you guys to do due on Thursday on those 2 is because you have your finals on Friday. And then once I finish grading your finals, you should be done by next Monday or next Tuesday, your final grade. So so please go to your D2L and check your grade. Mostly all your grade book is there already. So so that is the questions, the stuff that I want to tell you. Gianfranco, what do you have for me? I don't know what is that. Anyone have any homework questions? I have 5.4 question 26. Does anyone have any homework questions? You can either tell me now or type it out so I can help you with it. Anyone have homework questions? That is 525354. That is due tonight. Anyone? Anyone? Go ahead and type it out if you have. I'm going to share the screen now. And we're going to go for 5.4 first. I'm looking for question number 26, which is this one. This is a bit more difficult, yes. And you won't get this question 26 in your finals, okay? So you don't get that question in your finals. So this question 26, this is what we call as a demand equation. So the demand equation for a smartphone is given us by this formula. P equals to 5,000. 1 minus 5 over 5 plus e to the negative 0.008x. So this is the equation, which is very long. And the question is asking us to find the demand x when P is 126. I'm going to do 126. You guys go home and do 265. Okay, it's the same way. So you just need to solve it. So 126 is equals to 5, this whole thing, everything the same. Okay, everything inside the parentheses, same. Okay, I just use detail sign here, so I'm lazy to write those things down. Then what you do next is you have to, yep, 27, I got you, Mary. Next, what you need to do here is I need to solve for x. This is x here. Okay, I have to solve for x. So the first thing I need to do is get rid of this 5,000. So I will divide this by 5,000. Okay. So what you left is all this inside the parentheses here. So use your calculator and figure out what is 126 divided by 5,000. And you cannot, let me repeat, you cannot round this number. So you have to give me all the decimals here, 0.0252. Now everything inside the parentheses. 1 minus 5 over 5 plus e to the something, something, something x. Okay, so this is everything in there. So next, we need to get rid of this 1. So how do we get rid of this 1 is we subtract 1. So you subtract 1 from 0.0252, you will get negative 0.9748. And if you recall that, that is also a negative over here too. So what happens with these two negative, you can either cancel out or divide them out. So this is gone. So what we have in this case is this number equals to, so 0.9748 is equals to 5 over by 5 plus e to the something x. Okay. So next, what we do here is we want to solve for x. So what do I do is I interchange. Yes, you can always, this is like a fraction. This is over 1. So you can always interchange things if you have what we call as proportion. You can take these two and interchange them. Okay, so interchange means swap places. So what you do in this case is you, yep, this one is tough. So this is gonna be 5 plus e to the power of negative 0.08x. This is hard to write. This is all equals to 5. Okay, that's a 5 here. So 5, yep. So next thing is, this is easy now. So I subtract 5 on both sides. So this is gone. Oh, I'm so sorry. Let me, I forgot to do something here. This is over by something, over by 0.9748. And now what we do with this 5, I will subtract 5. So now you take, let me clear this whole thing up. 5 divided by 0.9748. And then you subtract 5. And again, you cannot round this number. So this will give me that icky number that we have, 0.129, so on, so on, so on. No rounding. If you round, you will get wrong in your answer. Next, what we do here is we have to get rid of the e. So in order for us to get rid of the e, we will ln both sides. So that e and ln will cancel out. So the last thing is we want to get x by itself. So I will divide this with the negative 0.008. So I will divide this. So what I have here is I took the ln of this long icky stuff that I have here, ln it. It's my ln, there you go. Ln this whole thing. And then after that, I will take that divided by 0.008 with a negative. So that will give me 255.7 something. This is your answer. This question, I think they want you to give your answer in a whole number to the nearest whole number. So that will be 256. This will be 256. Okay. You do the same thing for question B, but now you put 265 in it instead of 126. Last time I put 126 here. That is for question A. So for question B, you do it your own. You just need to change this with 265, and then you do the same thing, like divide by 5,000, and then get rid of the net, subtract 1, get rid of negative, and then interchange, and then do the same thing, division. So it's mostly roughly the same, same steps, but it's a very long step to do. Okay. The next one we're gonna talk about is 27 by Mary. So I'm gonna question 27.
No, not this one.
Which one? Guys, make sure
For
tell me
5.2.
Tell me which one you're doing, because I do not know which one you're talking about. 5.2.
Sorry.
Clarify. Please clarify things to me so that I know which one we're doing. 27. So this is 27. Okay. So the question is asking us to write the log in exponent form. So remember, how do you write log into exponents? Is you move your base. So what you do here is you move your base. So what base is ln? What base is ln? You need to know this. This is very important. What is the base for ln? 1? What is, I cannot hear you. E, yes, Josh, yes, E. So the base is E. So what you do is you move the over there. So what you do is the ln is disappeared. So this is 3/5 equals to e to the power of negative 0.511. So that one looks like this one, right? Looks like that one. E to the negative 0.5, yep, equals to 3.5. So it's that one. Is that the question you're asking for? Mary, is it Mary? Mary, did you ask that question, right? Yeah, okay. 5.3, question 28. Okay. Sorry. There you go. 5.3, question 28. If you have more questions, we did this in class already. We did this in class. We did this in class on Thursday, Harry. Are you here when we do this in class, Harry? 28. Oh, can you go at, okay, class, if this is almost the end. If you're not in my class, please go watch the video. I reposted the video. So I'm not going over this question again because it's already done. Please look at my YouTube, my YouTube videos that I uploaded. If you are not in my class, please go watch it, because otherwise you'll be gone. You doesn't know what to do. Yeah, I did this in class already, and I already told everyone this is coming out in your finals. So make sure that you know how to do this. Okay. So Harry, if you still have problems with it, can you stay after class? I can teach you. It's just 5 minutes. Okay. Stay after class, Harry. I'll teach you after 5 minutes. Okay. All right. So so we did. So what we're gonna continue today is 5.5. So 5.5 is where we will talk models, exponents and log models. So models in this case, it means that word problem. Yes. Woohoo, you got a word problem. So this whole entire 5.5 is all about word problem, and we only concentrate on 2 types of word problem. Either it is exponential growth, which is this formula, or exponential decay, which is this formula. Okay. There is a Gaussian model, the logistic growth, and the log models. We don't use that. I mean, we use it, but not as much as those 2. So these 2 are the most one that we do a lot. So you need to know, they are exact. Look, if you look at the formula, that looks exactly the same. One is a plus in the exponents, one is a minus in exponents. That's why this one is called the growth, because it's a plus. The minus one is a decay. Don't forget, growth model means that your graph goes up. This is called growth. And decay means the graph goes down. So this is called a decay model. So what is all this value is? So this value is, if you remember your compound interest, that's one called PERT. P equals to e to the power of RT, if you remember that. So it's very similar to what we have, A equals to PERT, I'm sorry. So e to the RT. So, so this is very similar to that, where A in this case is what we call as your final amount. So Y in this case, it will be your final amount. And then your A is your principal. A principal in this case, we call it the initial amount. So, so that's why A in this case is your initial, this is your final. B is your rate. See, if you look at this, this is to the power, B in this case is rate. and then X in this case is time. So it looks very similar to PERT, but just make sure that PERT is an exponential growth. It can be a minus, means it's exponential decay. Okay, so so these are two important formulas. So so this is a question that they will ask us to do is determine the principal P that is invested at 5% compounded monthly, so that 500,000 will be available for retirement in 10 years. So when you have a compound monthly, then this is what we call as a compound interest formula. Your N in this case is 12. The reason why N is 12 is because there are 12 months in the year. So that's why you have to put N is 12. The formula that you use is this formula. Yes, you need to know this formula. This formula is already, you already learned this in 5.1. Okay, so this formula actually is in 5.1. So if you doesn't, you did the 5.1 work. So, so what happened now is that this rate is 5%. This is your R, and then, but this 50,000 in this case is your amount. Usually they want you to find the final amount, but this time they give you the final amount. You have to find the P, where the time in this case is 10 years. So if you plug everything inside this formula, your A is 500,000, P we do not know. 1 plus the rate is a 5%, in decimals is 0.05 over 12, compound monthly 12. And then the power here is N times T, which is 12 times 10. And you have to do this first before you do everything. So you do 12 times 10, which is 120. And then use your calculator yes, this is a very heavy calculator for this section, to find out what is this number is. And you cannot round this number. So what you need to do in your calculator in this case is you have to take a parenthesis, 1 plus 0.05 divided by 12, close your parenthesis, and then make it power to 120. So you will get this 1.64700, something like this, and you cannot round here. Again, you only round at the final answer. You cannot round when you still haven't finished yet. So what you do next is now you will take 500,000 divided by all this number. So so what we do here is you take 500,000 divided by those number. Let me see, 1.64700, no rounding, 9498. So this came out to be 303.580.52. Now this you can round because it's your final answer. So this is how much you have to invest right now if you want 500,000 in 10 years. Okay. So I'm doing all right here. It's a very heavy on calculator, so make sure you guys use your calculator, especially this session. So all work, you can say it's all work problem. Next, determine whether the time necessary for your P dollars to double in the invest rate in 10%. So we know the rate here, R, is 10%, and this is compound continuously. So when you have compound continuously, this is the one that we will use, okay? PERT, okay? PERT will be the one that we will use compound continuously. What happens when your money is double? Your money is double in this case means that your P is still P, your principal is still the same, but your final amount is 2P. That means that it's been doubled. That means whatever you invest, the principal is double in this case. So what you do here is you plug into this equation, 2P equals to P, E to the rate is 0.01T, 10%. Okay, that's your rate. So then we divide P on both sides. So this P will cancel out. And then we have the E. So in order for us to do the opposite of E, we ln both sides. And once you ln both sides, the ln and E will cancel. And then I divide that by 0.1. So your answer in this case is ln2 divided by 0.1. So that will give you ln2 divided by 0.1. So this is how you get the 6.93. So this is what happens when you double, you do this, okay? I think your online homework wants you to find a triple one. So I think there's one is a triple one. I want you guys to try it. Let's go back to 5.5. This is the model that we are doing right now. So what problem? Where was that one? Nope, they don't have it actually. So I want you guys to go ahead and try to do triple. Right? I want you guys to do it yourself now. Question 2, instead of double, let's make it quadruple. Quadruple. So how to spell it? Quadruple? Let me Google it. Quadruple. There you go. So quadruple means that you make it 4 times more. Okay, I want you guys to go ahead and do this question number 2, but I want it quadruple. Okay, go ahead and do this question 2. I do not want double, I want quadruple. That means 4 times. Go ahead and do it. You need a calculator. Same, everything the same. And then you will see a shortcut. I will teach you a shortcut for that. I already got my answer already. It's very easy. Private message me. Don't put in the chat room. Everyone can see. I want you to private message me. What is your answer in this case? Question 2 is here. I want it quadruple. The reason why I'm doing all this question is because it's in your test. That's the reason why that I always, that's why I want you guys to do this in, in the test, because it's in your test. Right, do quadruple in this case. The rate is still 10%, still compounded continuously. Question 2 is right here. You can refer to it. And this is my answer here. Make sure you have a calculator. If you don't have a calculator, yes, that is correct, Tina V. If you don't have a calculator, you just give me ln2 over 0.1, something like this. That's why this is, you need a calculator to do it. Okay. Yes, Tina, you got it right. And you kind of know the shortcut now. Next, you do not need to show me the work anymore. You know how to do it. You can tell where is what you need to change. Just little bit to do. If I want double to triple to quadruple to Josh, too big is not correct. Passy is wrong. Yes, Derek, that is correct. It's 0.1 the bottom there, right? It's not 0 minus 1. Passive is correct. Passive is wrong. Josh is wrong. Lindsay is correct. Lindsay, you got it correct. Yep. Passive is correct now. Elijah is correct. This one, you can give me 2, 3 decimal place. Yep, Mary is correct. You just need to use your calculator to figure that one out. Josh, you're correct now. Yep. So the trick here is very easy because quadruple means 4 times. You just need to change this 2 to become 4. And that's it. And then you over by the rate. And that's how you get the answer as 13.86. Yep, 13.86. Yep, Jackson Doss, that's correct. Yep. Yep, that's how you do this. So it's very straightforward type question here. So make sure you guys understand how to do this. Although it's word questions, but not that difficult. Okay. So what we do on these 2 are all investment. That means that you compound continuously or you compound monthly. This is what we call as the growth. This is all exponentially growth. So when you have an exponentially growth means the money or the stuff that you have is keep on growing. That means it become bigger and bigger, okay, over time. But this time we don't have a growth. This is what we call as a half-life. So mostly all the radioactive has a half-life. Half-life means that the amount that you have on that, like example, on the plutonium-239 is just it's an isotope or something like that. It's a number. Ask your chemistry teacher, I do not know. It has a half-life of 24,100. It means that at 24,100 years, the amount of the plutonium-239 will cut half. So if you have 10 grams of it in 24,000 years, this 10 gram will become 5 grams. And then in another 24,000 years, this 5 gram will become 2.5 grams. So they keep on cutting by half. That's why they call it half-life. They cut it by half. So if you imagine you got a big cake and you're gonna eat them by cutting half every time. So you cut half, the very big piece, you're gonna eat that. And then the next time you cut half, which is a quarter, and then you keep on cutting half and half and half and half and half and half over time. Eventually you get a very tiny slices of cake. So what I'm going to tell you here is this is what happens to plutonium or the radioactive. They will not disappear. So they still have the plutoniums in, although the half-life is over how many million years, they're still going to have plutonium in the world, because it's not going to disappear. Okay. So the first thing I want to point out to you here is you have to find the rate. This is very important. So please pay attention. The rate in this case, in order for you to find the rate, is you take ln 0.5 over t. Okay, this the reason why we use ln 0.5 is because it's a half-life. It's 0.5. Remember last time you put ln2, ln3, ln4 to be double, triple, quadruple. Now because it's a half-life, you put the 0.5 here, and this t is actually your half-life years. Okay. This t in this case is your half-life year. So for this case is 24,100. Okay, so this is how you find the rate, which if you look at the formula is your B. Okay, is your B. This is your B. And since this is a half-life, so this is an exponentially decay type question. So for question number 3, this is a decay type, means that you have to use the negative. So that means that your answer will be, your rate here has to be a negative number. So that is the first thing you need to do is, that's what I did here is, you can ignore the negative, just ignore the negative. So what do? Is I take the ln 0.5 divided by 24,100. So I just take the ln 0.5, which is half of it, and divide by 24,100. So let's see how much, what is that we have. 0.5 ln, and then divide this with 24. Don't put a minus sign in there because they will give you minus here. So they will give you, so this negative 2 point something to negative 2.876. If you see this e to the negative 5 behind there, it is what we call as a scientific notation. That means it's 10 to the negative 5. So that is, so again, when you get no rounding here. Okay, so that means that, so when you put it, if you see me, when I put it back over there, I put a lot of zeros, so you do not round it. So, so this is your rate. Okay, this is how you find your rate. So now what you do next is, this question wants you to find the initial quantity of this half-life. So initial quantity means they want you to find P, where your amount is 0.4 gram over 1,000 years. So in this case, you just put this formula, A equals to P ERT, like PERT. But your R in this case is your rate. And make sure that this rate has a negative symbol. If you don't have a negative symbol on it, everything is wrong. Okay, so we plug the 0.4 in there. We plug the 1,000 in there. So first thing first, we have to figure out what is this one is, the one I draw box using your calculator. Okay, so using calculator, you have to use, so what we do here is we take 0.000, how many zeros do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros, 2876 times 1,000. That's your time. And then this, you have to make it to the E. So E to the power of that. They don't have that. E to the power of that. I'm going to put that again. Negative 0.0000. It's hard with this calculator. I don't like this calculator actually. Times 1,000. So you will get this 0.9716. Again, This number, no round. So do not round this number. So you actually have to copy all this number down. Then after that, you divide it by it. So it's 0.4 divided by 0.971648, so on, so on. So you came up to be, see, if I just give you 0.971648, the number is not the same. What's the number we have last time? So that's the reason why that if you give me that number, your online homework will mark you wrong. I can tell you straight away. Okay, that's why I start rounding. And when you start to round, you will get your answer wrong. Negative times 1,000. So this is 0.971649 something. 649 9. This whole thing 6323 oh sorry 6323. So again, I'm just showing you that because if you round it, that's why you get the 971649632. See, this is the one that is better. So please don't round that answer, otherwise you will get it wrong in this case. Okay. Again, this type of questions you will see in your test. So I will want you to try this question now. This is 5.5, question 8. Yes, question 8. It looks exactly the same as question 2 we did here. Okay. It looks exactly the same as question 2 that we did here. So use a half-life formula to find this half-life. Go ahead and do it. Question number 8. Question number 8. Do question 8. And private message me the answer. This is hard. And I need to do, but this one is way harder than the other question that I want you to do. But it's harder. I have to do. And make sure you have a calculator ready. Find R first, don't forget. Find your rate first. ln 0.5 divided by t. They have a half-life here. The half-life is this, 5,715. Make sure you guys got that. Does anyone know what is this initial amount, 32.5? Is that your A or is that your P? Anyone know what is this 32.5 is? Is that your A or is that your P? Don't forget, A means final amount. So yeah, A in this case means final amount, and P in this case means initial amount. So yep, that is your P. You're correct. So this 332.5 is your P, okay, not your A. So it's a very little setup, different setup from the last time, because last time we find P, now we find A. And if you plug in the wrong numbers, say goodbye. All right, let me see what I have in my calculator. Yep, send me a message if you're done. I got my number. Yep, take some time. Now, common sense, if you start with this, if it's a half-life, amount after 1,000 years, you think it's less than or more than 32.5? You should be less than 32.5, right? So if your answer is more than 32.5, that means your A and P has been switched around, okay? So your answer is, yep, Harry is correct. Josh is correct. They want in 2 decimal place, Josh. They want your answer in 2 decimal place. Yes, Lindsay is correct. You guys are good. Yes, I already told you this kind of questions is coming up in your final this Friday. So that's the reason why I want you guys to practice this. It's not that tough. You need a calculator for sure. Yep, it's not that tough. Okay. Josh is correct. Lindsay is correct. Harry is correct. 3 of you so far. Yep, you guys need to do it. This is question 8. Find the rate first. And using your calculator is another thing. Once you got this and you plug all these numbers in your calculator, it's not easy too. It's actually quite a lot of work. So you actually need to be fluent in your typing in your calculator. And if you don't have a calculator, say goodbye. You need a calculator for this. Only 3 students so far? Harry, Josh, and Lindsay. 3 of you guys. That is correct. Your answer is correct. Still waiting. I'll give you guys a couple more minutes. Then we'll do it together and pay attention. How much work will we expect as most? Like this one. This is the work, Harry, that you're asking. This is the work that I expected you to do. This is the expected work. Oh, I show it to you. What do I expected? I will show it to you. So this is the mostly expected work that I was asking for. Like what I just written down on this question. Very similar to that question. Okay, that's what I expected. Yep. And you just need to use the rest of this using calculators. Yep. And all your answers should be the same. Because if you start rounding this to 971, your answer is going to be off, way off from you guys. Yep. All right. Now, for those students who are not, didn't get it, pay attention now because I already told you, right? It's in your test, it's in your final. So first thing first is you have to find the rate. Okay. So how to find your rate is you take ln 0.5, which is half-life, over by the time. This time is 5,715. And you can also leave your answer like this. You do not need to convert it in decimals. Like last time I convert that into decimal like this. You can leave your answer like this, make your life easy. Okay, that's your rate. Now we know the initial quantity, your P. That's the initial quantity is 32.5. And we know the time is 1,000 years. That's the 1,000 years they have over there. So what do we do here is we put in per. A equals to per. PRT. You do not need to worry about the negative because this number will be negative. So you just plug all these numbers in here. 32.5 e to the ln of 5 over by 5,715, that is your rate, times 1,000, that's your time. So this is your calculator. This is where your calculator work comes out. So how do we do this? Definitely some calculator, like if you have a graphing calculator, you can type the whole thing out like that. You do not need to like do pieces on pieces, like you can type it out. But if you want to do pieces by pieces, because my calculator or a computer calculator is always, you have to do pieces by pieces, which is a lot of work. So so how do we do this? Is we do the ln5 first. So do the ln5 or 0.5. What is ln5? ln 0.5. This is a 0.5 here. Okay, 0.5. 0.5. Okay. So so ln 0.5. So 0.5 ln divided by 5715 times with 1000. So this will give me negative, where's my calculator? This will give me negative 0.121285595,898. I'm going to use as much numbers as I can. And then now I just type e to the power of that. So e to the power of 0.121285595,898 with a negative. Oh, where's my decimals? Shoot. There's no decimals in there. You'll be wrong. 0. Oh my God. Not this one. Sorry, 0.1212. The type is faster. 85595,898 with a negative. And after that, you multiply this with 32.5, and you will get your answer as 28.789. So it's going to be around, the correct answer is 28.79. Okay. This is the correct answer in 2 decimal places, which everyone here, those 2 students got it. So this is how we do this kind of questions. Again, it's in your test. Next, you have to find the model. So you have to figure out is the model is decaying or the model is growth. And how do you figure out if your model is decay and growth? You plot the points. So 0, 5 is here and 4, 1 is here. So we know that this graph, if you look at this, it's going to be a decay in this case because it goes like that. Okay, so it's going to be decay in this case. It's not growth. Okay, so it's not growth in this case. So it's wrong. So we're not going to do growth here. Okay, so so what we do here is we need the formula, and that is the formula we will use. Y equals to AE minus BX. Okay, so so this point, the one on your y-axis, is your initial value. So your initial value is 5 in this case. Okay, so your initial value is 5, where it's half here. So next we need to find B. If you know B, you got your answer. So how do you find B? Is you use this coordinates 0.41, you plug it back into this equation, and you will solve for B in this case. So what do I do in this case is, I'm going to show you how do we do this one because it was weird here. So in this case, we have y equals to 5 e to the negative of bx. The 5 comes from your y, your 0y. So now I plug in my x and y. My y is 1, and then my x is 4. And we need to solve for b here, and then after that you get your answer. So first thing is get rid of this 5. So how do we get rid of this 5 in this case is I will divide this by 5. So this 5 is gone. Next, I will get rid of the e. Does anyone know how to get rid of e? What is the opposite of e? Anyone know what's the opposite of e? Opposite of e. ln, yes, you ln both sides. Yes, 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 good, good, good. And then the ln and e will cancel out. Okay, the ln and e, that's why you ln both sides because the ln and e here will cancel. And next, we just need to get rid of this negative 4. We just divide it so that b is by itself, negative 4. So use your calculator, ln of 1/5 divided by negative 4. You will get your answer, and that is your B answer. 1/5 ln it, and then divided by negative. So that came out to be 0.402 something, something, something like that. So what you do now is plug this back into this equation. and you will get this number, this answer, y equals to 5e negative 0.402x. Okay, so this is how we do this kind of questions here is, mostly it's pretty much easy. The first thing you need to figure out, are they decaying or growth? If they are decaying, make sure that you have a negative here. If it's growth, make sure it's positive. By looking at your online homework that you have, the one right next after that, this is a growth function. You can tell it's going up. So make sure that you don't use this formula that I use here. Make sure you use the growth function, which is y equals to aebx. Okay, and don't forget also that your 1/5 is your a. This is always your a, your initial. Okay, 1/5 is your initial, and then you plug xy into it, and you get yourself an answer. Okay, you guys are doing all right here so far with this? Anyone have any questions for me? No question. Next, we're talking about the populations. So the population in Tallahassee, Florida from 2000 to 2010 is given us by this model, where T represents the year since 2000. So that means that when T is 0, it means the year 2000. If you have T is 1, it means 2001. And this goes to 2010. So that means T in this case can only go to 10. And this is your formula that is that. But K, they don't give you K. So I think they want you to find K. So in 2006, the population of Tallahassee was about this many people. Find K. And that increasing or decreasing? Increasing, decreasing is very easy to tell, is looking at your power. If your power is negative like this, then it is decreasing. If your rate is positive, that means it's increasing. So it depends on the rate here. So this one, if you got a negative, something like that, it means it is decreasing. So what do we do here is we put in numbers inside this equation. So 2006 means T is 6 because 0 for 2000. So T in this case 6. And your population P is 347. Does anyone here know why I get rid of all the 3 zeros behind? Anyone here know why I get rid of all the 3 zeros behind? How many word problems in the exam? Probably like you will get like probably like 2 or 3. Yep, you got around 2 to 3 word problems in your exam. This final. Yep, and they're all from this section. This 5.5. There's no word problem on other sections. Yeah, only this one. So so why, my question now is why I get rid of all these 3 zeros? Anyone? Yes, that is correct. Who was that? I just clicked it just now. Josh, you are correct because it is measured in thousand. So that's the reason why that you need to drop the zeros behind. So that's why it's 347. If you put the 30 behind, it's 347 million people. So that would be wrong. Okay, so make sure you guys know this. Get rid of the zeros behind because P is in thousand. So what do I do in this case is I plug this into the equation and try to solve for K in this case. So so what do I do is I plug in P is 347. And then 319.2. And then I have e to the power of kt, 6k. 6 comes from the time 2006. So how do we solve the k here? So first thing first is we divide. So we need to divide this 319.2. So this is gone. And then we do the anti-E. What is the opposite of E? Ln. Ln both sides. That means I have to Ln this whole entire thing. Okay. And Ln and E will cancel. And finally, I need to divide this by 6. So my K is going to be this icky stuff here. Okay, this is my K. So you have to use a calculator to figure it out. So the first thing I do with this calculator I have is I have to divide this first. 347 divided by 319.2. And then after that, I have to Ln it. And then after that, I divide by 6. So my K in this case is 0.0139. And this is your rate. Don't forget, this K is your rate. And since this is a positive, so this is increasing. Okay, so my K in this case is the one we just did, 0.0139. And since K is positive, this is increasing. Okay. Next, according to model, what year is it when you reach 410,000? And again, what happens to the 3 zeros behind? You ignore it. That means your P in this case is just 410. So now what you do is you plug it back into the equation here. So you got your K now. So what I did here is I plug in the 410. So I plug in 410 to my population. The 319.2 is still the same. E to the K, we got K. In this case, is this 0.0193, sorry. And the time is the one that we need to figure out. So how do we solve this? Again, this is a number multiplied by it. So we will divide by 319.2. So you figure out that they all look very similar. You have to divide this initial amount, we call it the initial amount. And then after that, if you see E, we ln both sides. Because ln and E will cancel. This will cancel. And then lastly, we just divide this with that whatever amount that you have for that. So 0.0139. So you divide this off. And that is your answer in this case. This is your time. And then you have to use your calculator to figure it out. So 410 divided by 319.2. And then I have to ln it. And then after that, I have to divide this by 0.0139. So this is around 18. So this is what I did here. So this is around 18 years. But unfortunately, this question here did not asking for what the years. They're asking for the year 2000 what. So this answer should be 2000. Where's my answer? Should be there. So it's 18. So it's 2018. So make sure that your answer here is 2018. Don't put 18 there. They will mark you wrong. So this year, that year will be 2018. You guys doing all right here? You guys have any questions for me? Anyone have any questions for me so far? No? All right. This is again, so if you are one of the people that likes to figure out like dinosaurs, how old are they? You use this carbon 14 to figure out how old are this, something, how old are those, like your dinosaur bones, or I don't know what you have. So human. So a piece of ancient charcoal contains only 15% as much radioactive as a piece of modern charcoal. How long ago is this charcoal? That means the question is asking how old is this piece of old charcoal here, assuming that the half-life of carbon-14 is 5715. So what we do here is we find rate again. Again, don't need to worry about the negative, it will be gone. So we always find rate using ln half divided by the half-life. So the rate in this case, so always find the rate first. This is always you find it. You can leave your answer like this, or you can leave your answer in decimals, okay? But the next thing that is very important, I want everyone to pay attention, is this one, okay? When you see the word 15% here, this 15%, it means that you got 15% left of what you have. So that means your final amount is 15% of P, what you have originally. So this 15% is how we write this, your P is P. So because this is talking about half-life, is a decay function. So it's a decay, so we use the negative one, the negative. So now what we do is you plug everything in there. So your A is 0.15 T. Let me just do it here so you guys can see clearly. So what you do here is A in this case is 0.15 P. And then followed by P. P is still P. E to the rate. Rate in this case, I'm going to use this one, is easy. ln half divided by 5715. And I do not know the time, so I put T here. Okay. So like last time, we always get rid of this P, so I will divide both sides by P. So this P will cancel out. So what you left in this case is just 0.15. And then the next thing we do is we need to get rid of this E, so I will ln both sides. So this ln is just this one, and ln E will cancel out. And finally, I take this whole thing and I divide over there. I divide this whole thing over there. So your time in this case is ln 0.15 divided by ln of 0.5, 57.15. So how do you do this? Because you need to do this icky part first. So let's do this in your calculator. So it's 0.15 ln divided by, I'm going to put parentheses again, because these are two things here, ln 0.5 divided by 5715. If you don't put a parenthesis behind it, you will get it wrong. So this came out the time. The time is not the same. Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah, so your answer in this case is your time, assuming what this one came out like that. Piece of 15%, how long? Why the time came out like this? Let me double check here first. Should not be came out that weird thing like that. ln 0.5, that would be weird. Maybe my that calculator is weird. Divided by ln 0.5 over 5715. Oh, something wrong with my calculator. Let me just do this. Sorry about that. I don't know what happens. There should be. Sorry. I know something happens here. Something. This actually came out to be 15,064. This is the right answer here. I know what happens with this one. It's so weird. ln should be correct. I don't know why they. This is weird. I don't like the computer calculator. It's horrible. I'm gonna try it again. Let me clear the whole thing. So I'm gonna do the. Make sure you guys. Take out your calculator. Please write this out. This is not your answer. This is wrong. This is no good. It should be. I'm gonna do this ln half first. ln half. Make sure you guys got the same answer as this 15,000. Exact, almost close to it. Divided by 5715. So this one came out to be this icky number. -1.2128555. And then I need to divide ln. It's a lot of work. 0.5 ln. And then divide this with -1.2128555955989 with a negative. Still get the same wrong answer. What the heck? Why my calculator is right? Can you guys take out your calculator and check it? Don't look at this calculator. Make sure you take out your calculator and check it. It should be this number. Please check it because a lot of students did not get this answer. So that's a problem. Next, question 7 is conservation organization released 100 animals in an endangered species in a game preserve, and the preserve can only keep 1,000 animals. So if you look at this graph looks something like this, where it starts at 100 and the caps is 1,000, means you cannot go up. This line cannot go above it. So the growth of the pack is given us by this model. This 1,000 is your highest, okay? Where T is measured in months. Estimate the population after 5 months. So this question is not too bad for A. You just plug 5 into T, and then you solve your answer. So this question, you just put P5, P5. So you just plug 5 inside to this T. So you get 1,000 over by 1 plus 9 e to the negative 0.1656 times 10. So times 5, sorry, because we are doing 5 here now. So times 5. So what you need to do is you have to take this calculator and do this piece first. You always do the power first, the negative 0.1656 times 5. So that will give us 0.5. Sorry, look at it. 0.1656, and then you multiply this by 5. So you get 0.828. And then you type this whole thing in there. 1 plus 9 times e to the power of, this is a negative there, right? Should be a negative. Negative 0.828. So this will give me 4.93 something. And then you divide this, you take 1,000, divide by that. Okay, so you take this, then divide by 1,000. I'm going to put the flip-flop sign. There's a flip-flop times with 1,000. So you will get 202. So that's where you get the 20275 from. Okay, so this is how we do the first part. Very easy, you just plug 5. The second part is a bit difficult, where now they want you to find the T after the population reach 500. So in this case, that now this is 500, you have to find T. This is the one that is a bit more work that you have to do. So so 500 is over here because your PT is 500 now. 1,000 is up there, over by 1 plus 9 e something 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 T. Okay. So what you do first is, because your T is down here, the 500 is there, so I interchange them. So I interchange these two. So I got 1 plus 9 e to the negative something something T is equals to 1,000 divided by 500. So I interchange the 500 with the 1 plus 9 something something. And we know 1,000 divided by 500 is 2. So once we got that, we need to get rid of this one. So I subtract 1 on each side. So what I get here is 9 to the e to the negative of something. And we know that 2 minus 1 is 1. 2 subtract 1 is 1. And then I have to divide by 9 because there's the 9 here. And then next we have the e. So for me to get rid of the e, I have to ln both sides. So the ln and e is gone. So what I left in this case is this negative, what was that formula? Negative 0.1656t. So what do I do is, once I finish taking ln both sides so that the e will cancel out, I will divide by this number. Negative 0.1656. So again, calculator, 1/9 ln of it. Oop, yeah, this is wrong. So I hate this calculator. 1/9 ln it, and then divided by negative 0.1656. So that you got the 0. Oh, this is wrong again. Oh, I forgot to put the decimals. Ugh, sorry. Forgot to put the decimals. Yep, that's one wrong part. Forgot to put the decimals. Oh, forget about it. So yeah, so if you use that, it came out to be 13.27 calculator. That's the reason why that a lot of students do not do well in this test is because they doesn't know how to use the calculator. Okay, I got that divided by 0.1656 negative. Yep, that's correct, 13.27. Yep. Make sure you guys know how to do this. So we're gonna stop at 5.5. Thursday we'll do 9.1, and after that, you will have your finals. So does anyone have questions for me before I let you guys go here? I'm gonna stop sharing here. Anyone have any questions for me? So do not forget, you got, yep, go for it, Pasi. Oh, I forgot, type present. Totally forget about the, yep, present for attendance. Yep, thank you. Yep, you guys know what to do. Yep, so your finals is this Friday at noon. Good till 24 hours, Saturday at noon. That's your finals. You got 3 homework due tonight, which is 5.2, 5.3, 5.4. And you got 2 homework due on Thursday, 5.5 and 9.1. And we did 5.5 and 9.1, it won't take us a long time. So on Thursday, we will finish up 9.1 in 30 minutes, and then we spend the last 30 minutes on reviewing your finals. Okay, so we'll talk about that, reviewing your finals on Thursday. It's probably 30 minutes to do your 9.1, which is very easy. And then after that, reviewing for your finals. Anyone have any questions for me? If you do, stay. If you don't, you may go. Harry, I'm going to show it to you. How do we do that question? Yep. I don't need this. If you have questions, please stay back. Is that 5.3, right? Number 28, right? Yeah. So this is 28. This question is given us that log B2 is this, log B3 is that, and log B5 is that. And you have to figure out log B10. So how do we do log B10 is you have to give me combinations of numbers. Thank you, Muhammad. That give me 10. So what times what based on these 3 numbers, 2, 3, and 5. You see the 2, 3, 5 here? Can you tell me which combination here when you multiply, you give me a 10? Yeah, fine, I can do that. Yep, 2 and 5. So what you do here is you take log B. 10 is 2 times 5, right? And the properties of log says that if you have multiply, you can actually separate this into 2, but you have to add them. So you got log B2 plus log B5. This is the log property. Multiply become addition. And then next, you just take the value for log B2 given us as 0.3562. And then you do the log B5 value, which is 0.8271. And what you do is just add these 2 numbers and you get 11.833. And that's your answer. Harry, you got it? Yeah. Same thing happens to 29. If you look at 29, log B3 over 5. Harry, do you know what is division is? Multiply, we add. Divide, we what? Subtract. Yep. So you do the log B3 minus with log B5. So make sure that you subtract. You have to write twice the log B. And log B3 is 0.5646. And then minus log B5 is 0.8271. And then you just subtract these 2 numbers, and then that's your answer. Okay, it's not that difficult. So I would recommend you to watch the video. I really emphasize on this because it's in your test on this Friday final. So that's why please watch it again, okay? Go to D2L, the link is there, okay? All right, Amaka, you got a question? Amaka? Question? Nancy, you got a question, Nancy? Nancy, I do mark you present on that day. I know you forgot.
No, I don't have a question. Sorry.
Okay. Yep. I know you forget present last Thursday, right?
Yeah.
Yep. I mark you as present. Yeah. You get the point. It's in D2 already. All right.